How's it going, everyone? Thirsty Dog here with another beer in a box of Eldritch Moon. Probably the last sealed product opening of Eldritch Moon in quite a while, I imagine. Because I've already opened up a couple of fat packs, several boxes, some release packs. So, one last hurrah with Eldritch Moon with one more box. But that's also make it a little bit better. Because everything's better with beer. This time around we have a Hop Lips from Old Dominion Brewing Company. I don't think I've ever had anything from them before. I had this one sitting in my fridge for a while, I think. I believe it was a gift from somebody in a 6-pack sampler type of deal, where someone just grabbed a bunch of interesting beers and put it in a 6-pack and bought each one individually. So let's go ahead and pour the beer. Carefully, of course. I don't want to spill it on this playmat. That would be very sad. Doing it kind of slow so the head doesn't build up too crazy high. Come on, drip. Alright, so let me put this bottle out of the way. Let's go ahead and take the first sip, shall we? It's pretty smooth. Not super powerful like a lot of IPAs can be. Pretty subtle, but I like it. Alright, so let's get to the good stuff with Eldritch Moon one last time. Or at least definitely in one of the last boxes. Bump the camera a little bit. Alright, so hoping to pull. I'm not gonna get greedy here, but I'm hoping to pull a Trade of Perdition, since I have a thing for that deck, for that card in particular. And if you've been paying attention, I actually did a video when it was first spoiled, and then I just made a deck with it. Having a pretty good amount of fun with it on Magic Online. Be cool to be able to build it in paper. Probably not going to do so hot in general, but it's still a real fun deck for, at the very least, casual play. So it'd be cool to get at least one of those. That's my very not greedy hope for this box. Alright, so as usual, let's go ahead and skip to the uncommons. Center it up here. So the first pack we have is Savage Alliance, Foul Emissary, Lashweed Lurker, and our rare is an Imprisoned in the Moon. So for 2 and a blue, you get the pseudo removal. I guess it's removal, but it also gives a colorless source to your opponent. So you enchant a creature, land, or planeswalker with it, which is really cool. That's pretty interesting. And you can also choose a land with it. But you basically turn it into a colorless source. And we have a common flip of Midnight Scavengers. Island and Wolf. Alright, so actually, let's try to pay attention. So that was Liliana. Let's go ahead and do Liliana first. I know this is already done a couple times, but let's try to see if we can focus on opening Liliana first. First uncommon in this pack is the Whisperers of Emrakul, Weaver of Lightning, Subjugator Angel, and the rare is a Spirit of the Hunt, 1 and 2 green, 3/3 flash, Wolf Spirit. It also gives all your wolves and werewolves +0/+3 until end of turn when it comes into play. And we have a Cryptolith Fragment. This is a pretty cool mana rock for 3, but it comes into play tapped. You get to get any color of mana out of it though, and each player loses a life. And once every player is at 10 or less life, you transform it into Aurora of Emrakul. And it looks like we have our foil rare already, which is a Wharf Infiltrator. See, 1 in blue, 1/1 human horror with Skulk. Whenever it does combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2, and if you do, you put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi horror creature token onto the battlefield. It's pretty neat. I don't know if I've seen that played at all. Probably won't, but cool card regardless. So that's another Liliana pack, in case you're interested. Always kind of sucks getting your foil rare early, but oh well, maybe something else will pop up. I've seen that a couple times already. Alright, so next pack, our first uncommon is a Fury Blade, a Vampire, a Crop Sigil, Johnyard Behemoth, and a Stormkirk Condemned. 2 black, 2/2, discard a card. It's a vampire order. You can discard a card, and vampires you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. You can only do it once a turn. And we have a Lone Rider, which flips into It Rides as 1. It that rides as 1, that is. Alright, so I have to start digging here. There's Liliana. Get some more packs off to the side. Whoa, almost went too far. Alright, so first uncommon in this pack, we have a Haunted Dead, Emrakul's Influence, Geist of the Archives, and a Collective Defiance. 1 and 2 red, sorcery. You can also Escalator for 1, so you could choose 2 more modes for only 2. You get to have a target player discard the cards in their hand, then draw that many cards, or it deals 4 damage to target creature, or is 3 damage to target opponent. You have a Shrill Howler. Oh, and a Hammer Garrison. I think that might be the first one I've pulled. Pretty sweet. I like that card a lot, actually. So for 2 and a red, your Human Soldier, it's a 2/3, which isn't great, but it's pretty sweet ability is that you can, every time you attack with it, you put out 2 and 1/1 red human creature tokens, then they're also attacking. And of course, it melds with Hammer Battlements to land. Alright. Not distributed very well in this box. Another Liliana pack. Go through uncommons. First uncommon, we have a Blessed Alliance. We have a Shreds of Sanity, Noose Constrictor, and a Mausoleum Wanderer. It's a pretty cool spirit creature for 1 blue. Of course, it has flying because it's a spirit. And whenever another spirit enters the battlefield under control, it gets pumped by +1/+1 until end of turn. You can also sacrifice it to target or counter target instant or sorcery spell, unless its controller pays X, where X is Mausoleum Wanderer's power. And we have a Tingle Claw Werewolf, which of course flips into Fibrous Entangler. You know, weird seeing a checklist card in that slot. Let me take a sip of the beer. Oh yeah. Okay. Next pack we have a Fortune's Favor. Pretty sweet art. There we go. The lighting's a little weird. Prying Questions. That's pretty weird, the art there. Faith Unbroken. And a Selfless Spirit. Alright, we got a spirit deck going on here. So 1 and white, 2/1 flyer. Sacrifice it, and all 8 creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. And an Uvalwald Captive turns into Uvalwald Abomination, and we have a foil Lone Rider. So, there's a bunch of werewolves and cameos here. Trying to separate as much as I can off to the side. Another loading on pack. No mythic so far out of her. It's kind of stupid I have to even think about doing this, but just curious to see how it plays out again in another box. So, first uncommon of this pack, we have a Blood Mist. Geistfield Scarecrow. Hamlet Captain. And our rare is a Sanctifier of Souls. So for 3 and a white, you get a Human Cleric that's 2/3. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+1 to turn. You can also pump out a 1/1 Spirit creature token if you pay 2 and a white and exile a creature card from your graveyard. And have Midnight Scavengers flip. And then we have a Handwork Battlements. Alright. So of course this is the colorless source, but you can pay 1 red and tap it to give a creature haste. You can also pay 3/2 red, tap it, and meld it with Handwork Garrison. Oh yeah. There it is. The 7/4 Trampler with haste. And when it attacks, you put 2 3/2 Eldrazi Horror creature tokens tapped and attacking. It's kind of a lot though to do that. Giving up a land. But when it's attacking, it's pretty nuts. I just opened up a werewolf, so I'm going to put that off to the side. I forgot about that. Here we go, Liliana. So used to just grabbing packs from a box, sitting in front of me. Okay, so first uncommon of this pack is Nephelia Academy. We have a Rise from the Grave. Spreading Flames, and a Collective Brutality. So for 1 in black, you get a sorcery. It has Escalate with the casting cost for Escalate of discarding a card. So it's interesting with the discard outlet built into the sorcery. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You can choose an instant or sorcery from it, and player discards that card. And or target creature gets -2/-2, and or target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. And a Curious Homunculus, which flips into a Voracious Reader. Gotta remember to keep it to Lily. Alright, got one in the middle. Alright, so next pack we have a Geist of the Lonely Vigil, Clear Shot, Courageous Outrider, and a rare is a Heron's Grace Champion. It's a 2 green and white casting cost human knight creature for 3/3, but it also has Flash and Lifelink, And when it enters the battlefield, other humans you control get +1/+1 and gain lifelink until end of turn. Full card, but not really seeing play, unfortunately. Well, I guess I don't know where that would fit, given the fact that Bant Company has, or just Bant in general, has every weapon you can imagine is better than that one already. And our flip is a Tangle Claw Werewolf. 5% Tangler. How many Lily packs are left? Alright, we got one right there. Taking a sip of beer. Okay. So in this pack we have a Whispers of Emrakul, an Incendiary Flow, Abundant Maw, and a rare is a Bloodhall Priest. So for 2 black and red, you get a Vampire Cleric for 4. Whenever it enters a battlefield or attacks, if you have no cards in hand, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. You can also cast it for madness of 1 in a black and red. And we have a Graph Rats for a flip. Top side of Chittering Host. Cameo. Here's a Lily. This might be the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so next pack we have a Fury Blade Vampire, a Dusk Feaster, a Crop Sigil, and a rare is a Harmless Offering. Cute little kitty. Here it is again. Of course, it's the Tuna Black, or Tuna Reds, excuse me, sorcery that makes your opponent gain a target permanent you control. We have a Keswick Prowler for the flip, Senior's Predator, and with another flip rare. This one's Bruta, the Fading Light. So for 5 and 2 white, you get the legendary creature Angel Horror. It's a 5/7, but you also get to return a target or human creature card from graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty sweet. And she also has flying and vigilance, of course, since she's an angel, so she can fly. Bottom half of the flip. And alright, so it looks like we got one more Lily left. Looking like there's no mythics on Lily. Ooh. Last Lily pack starts off for the uncommons with a Slayer's Cleaver, Mercurial Geist, next uncommon. Then we have an Insatiable Gorgers, and the rare is a Selfless Spirit again. Not too sad about that. It's a pretty awesome spirit card. We already got one, so I don't have to read it again. And another Graph Rats. So there you have it. Looks like Lily has no mythics whatsoever, let alone flip. Yeah, so push these up. Put this stuff over here. Okay. So, let's see, let's do, make sure I got these sorted right. These are all werewolves. Let's do werewolves next. Yeah, I think we should be good now. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Put those in here. Alright, so let's do werewolves next and see if we can pull a mythic. Got 0 so far, which is quite the opposite of the last box. First in common, we have Repel the Abominable. A Markov Crusader. Mournwillow. And a Permeating Mass. So for 1 green, you get a 1/3 spirit. Whenever Permeating Mass deals combat damage to a creature, that creature becomes a copy of it. Weird card. And we have a Graph Rats. Alright, next werewolf. This is the one I already started opening. Alright, so first one in this pack is a Long Road Home. We have a Ruthless Disposal, Scour the Laboratory, and Emrakul's Evangel. 2 in a green. Creature, it's a human horror. It's 3/2, and you get to tap it, sacrifice it, and any other number of non-Eldrazi creatures, and you can replace them with 3/2 Eldrazi horror creature tokens. And we have a Voldem Pack Outcast for the flip. Alright. Next pack. First uncommon we got here is Rise from the Grave, Thirsting Axe, Abundant Maw, and Identity Thief. 2 and 2 blue. This is a shapeshifter, so this one's interesting because it shapeshifts when it attacks, so you get to exile another target non-token creature. If you do, it becomes a copy of that creature to end a turn, and then return the creature that you exiled to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. And a Keswick Prowler flips into a Sinuous Predator. Okay, so first uncommon in this pack is a Campaign of Vengeance. We have another Thirsting Axe, Liliana's Elite, and Impetuous Devils, the 6/1 Trampler Haste Devil for 2 and 2 red, and it attacks, and when it does, one target creature defending player controls blocks it if this combat if able, so you get to choose that creature. And then at the beginning of the end step, you have to sacrifice Impetuous Devils. We have Graph Rats again. Alright, so next pack. We have ourselves an Abandoned Reason, a Vexing Scuttler, Murder, and Eldritch Evolution. Of course, this is the card that everyone thinks will be broken. We'll see if someone could figure out a good deck to fit this into. In Modern, that is. For a 1 and 2 green, it's a sorcery. You have to sacrifice a creature to cast it, but you get to search your library for a creature that costs X plus 2, so use upgrade your creature. And you get a Grizzled Angler for the flip. Flips into a Grizzly Anglerfish. Take another sip of beer before grabbing the next pack. Okay. No mythics at all so far. Let's start off with a Lunar Force. The Vexing Scuttler. Another Murder. There we go. We have a Gisa and Geralf? I don't know. Don't know exactly what the correct pronunciation is, but there you have it. 2 blue and black, legendary creature, human wizard. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library in your graveyard. During each of your turns, you may cast a zombie creature card from your graveyard. A pretty awesome card for a zombie deck. We have another Grizzled Angler. Grizzled Anglerfish. And we have a Dawson on Perfection. Pretty cool. We get a Mythic and Flip Rare pack. Not too shabby. It's another type of deck I want to try to build. Between this and like Crypt Breaker. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, and Roland's Dead, of course. From Shadows. Alright, so next pack. Start off with a Nebelgast Herald. Vampire Cutthroat. A Ride Down. Oh, nice. 2 mythics in a row, and this one's pretty good. Liliana the Last Hope. 1 and 2 black Planeswalker. Just hoping to see her sometime soon, and there she is. So with her, you can plus her +1 ability to give a creature -2/-1 until your next turn. -2 lets you put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And her ultimate can get pretty nuts, especially in a zombie deck, which just seeds that ultimate right away. And the emblem is at the beginning of your end step, you put X/2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is 2 plus number of zombie creatures you control. So even if you have none, you're getting 2. And if they both live, or if you have more, you're getting at least 4 more next turn, so on and so forth. Okay, so then we have a Midnight Scavengers. And another Flip Rare. Interesting. 2 Mythic and Flip Rare packs in a row. I have so many damn Voldaren Pariahs. So funny. So, I guess we'll read it again now. 3 and 2 black, Vampire Horror, 3/3 flyer. You can then sacrifice 3 other creatures to transform her. Also, you can cast her for 3 black, which is pretty sweet too. But then when you sacrifice 3 other creatures to transform her, she turns into a 6/5 flyer, and then your opponent has to also sacrifice 3 creatures. Interesting card. Okay, so I've got 2 mythics. And of course, it's the same theory that we keep hearing about holds true. I'll probably get 1 or 2 more out of this werewolf track here. Saw a small peek of something back there, but see what it is in a second. Alright, first uncommon we got is a Peace of Mind. We have a Drogskull Shieldmate. Mercurial Geists. And we have a Noose Graph Mob. 4 and 2 black, zombie. And there's a battlefield with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever a player casts a spell, remove a +1/+1 counter from it. And if you do, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token on the battlefield. So I know this cost a lot. Wish it cost like 1 less, but same synergy of Liliana, but of course it's pretty hard to combo off with because of its cost. Then we have an Ulvenwald Captive. It's turned into Ulvenwald Abomination. Then we have a foil Drag Under. See if I can get that light. There we go. There we go, that's a little bit better. Gotta love foils, except for when they bend. Then they suck. Take another sip of beer. Alright. So far so good. Liliana, can't be too upset about that. Next pack we have a Nubelgast Herald, a Vampire Cutthroat, Dry Skull Shieldmate, and a rare is a Summary Dismissal. 2 and 2 blue, exile all other spells and counter all abilities. This is probably underrated. It's a pretty cool card. I mean, exile all abilities in addition to the spells in our stack, so it's pretty interesting. If you can get the stack going and have enough mana up to cast this, it's pretty nuts. And then our flip is a Vildan Pack Outcast. Which flips into a Drone Pack Kindred, and we have another foil rare. This one's a Thalia's Lancers. 3 and 2 white, 4/4 for strike human knight. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a legendary card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. Pretty good card. So, I want to say this is in the 4th box, I think, and I think all but one has had like 2 full rares in it. Pretty crazy. I don't know if it's actually normal now because of the flips and all that, but that's what I'm saying. Alright, next pack we have another Nubelgast Herald, the Drownyard Behemoth, Hamlet Captain, and a Soul Separator. Another piece of the Soul Perdition deck, of course. 3 artifact, 3 casting cost it is. You can pay 5. Tap it, exile a creature card from the graveyard, and you put a 1/1 spirit token on the battlefield that has all of that creature card's abilities. Then you also put a zombie creature token that has the power and toughness of that creature you exiled. Costs a lot, but it's really cool interactions. Vildan Pack Outcast. There's a flip. Alright, so we got 2 packs left of the werewolves. First uncommon of this pack is an Unsubstantiate. Really cool instant there. Advanced Stitchwing is the next card. And we have a Narwhal Dryad, which is actually seen in play. And our rare is a Stormcook Occultist. So for 2 and a red, you get 3/2 Trampler. Whenever it deals damage, combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library until end of turn, you may play that card. You also cast it for menace of 1 and a red. And our flip is Lone Rider. Alright, so this is the last non-flip mythic of the box. Or if it's not, that kind of sucks, but at least we got Liliana out of it. It's way better than getting a bunch of crappy mythics. Alright, so first uncommon is a Nephalia Academy. Next we got a Savage Alliance, another Advanced Stitchwing, and we have a Bedlam Reveler. This one's interesting. So for 6 and 2 red, which is kind of irrelevant since its ability, is it cost 1 less for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, so it's going to cost a pretty good amount less than 6 and 2 red when you cast it, but it also has prowess. And the really cool thing about it is you get to draw 3 cards. Well, you discard your hand and draw 3 cards when it enters the battlefield. But it would really suck if this somehow came out when you didn't have 1 and 2. And then we have a smoldering werewolf flip. You're up, injured wolf. Okay, so far we've only gotten 2 mythics, but one of them is Liliana. So can't be too upset about that. Make some room over here. Put this like that. And then we have a bunch of Tameo packs left. Take another sip of beer before we get started on those. Pretty great. It's an interesting IPA. Definitely enjoying it though. Alright, so Tameo, here we go. First pack, we have a Prying Questions. Unsubstantiate. Gnarlwood Dryad. And a Wharf Infiltrator. This is the first foil rare I got. And a Graph Rats. And a foil Prophetic Ravings. I guess if I don't get a bunch of mythics in this box, it kind of balances out with the last one. Okay, so here we got a Geist of the Lonely Vigil, a Blood Mist, Incendiary Flow, and an Elder Deep Fiend. Alright, pretty cool rare. 8 casting cost. It has Flash. You can also merge it for 5 and 2 blue. When you cast it, tap up to 4 target permanents. Really nuts. It's my second pack, right? Extricator of Sin is our flip. Which flips into Extricator of Flesh. It'd be cool to see another Spell Queller. Open up a couple, I think, in total. Alright, first encounter we got in this pack is a Hunted Dead. Spreading Flames. Scour the Laboratory. A rare. There's another Soul Separator. Oh, we just read that. And we have a Golden Pack Outcast. And a foil Haunted Dead. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. I'm not sure if you can or not. My dog is drinking some water at the moment. Alright, so first uncommon we got is an Emrakul's Influence. A Foul Emissary. Lashweed Lurker. And a Sigarda's Aid. 1 white enchantment lets you cast auras and equipment as though they had flash. And then whenever an equipment enters a battlefield under your control, you may attach it to target creature you control. And the Midnight Scavengers. Alright, next pack we have a Slayer's Cleaver, Subjugator Angel, Chilling Grasp, and a rare is an Oath of Liliana. 2 in a black, a legendary enchantment. And as a battlefield, your opponent sacrifices a creature, or each opponent that is. So it's pretty cool in Commander because you can make all your opponents sack. And then at the beginning of each end step, if a planeswalker enters the battlefield under your control this turn, you put out a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And we have a Shrill Howler for flip. Taking another sip of beer. Still got quite a bit left. Alright. First uncommon we got is Mockery of Nature. Long Road Home. We have a Clear Shot. And the rare is a Lupine Prototype. So for 2, you get a 5/5 artifact creature wolf construct. But it can't attack or block unless a player has no cards in hand. It's pretty weird. And a Field Impact Outcast. Alright, so far, most of these, whoops, sorry about that. Most of these Tamiyo packs are stinkers. Alright, so first uncommon in this pack is a Ruthless Disposal. A Blessed Alliance. Courageous Outrider, and a Crypt Breaker. Pretty sweet zombie. 1 black, 1/1. But you can play 1 in the black, tap it, discard a card, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token on the battlefield. You can also tap 3 untapped zombies you control and draw a card and lose a life. And an Ulvenwald Captive for a flip. Starting to get a little nervous here. It'd be really bad if I didn't already have a Liliana, but oh well. Alright, so next pack, first uncommon, we have a Graph Harvest. He actually has a decent fit in the zombie deck, of course. You get all of them menace, you get to pump out with the enchantment, the Somber Walled Stag. Vampire Cutthroat. Rare is a Assembled Alphas. 5 in a red. 5/5 creature, it's a wolf. Whenever it blocks or becomes blocked, it deals 3 damage to that creature and 3 damage to that creature's controller. Weird top end for an aggressive deck. And we have the Midnight Scavengers again. And that's it. Womp womp. Okay, so 4 packs left. First uncommon we got Lunar Force, Mockery of Nature, Crop Sigil, and Ulvenwald Observer. So for 4 and 2 green, you get a 6/6 True Folk. And whenever a creature you control with toughness 4 greater dies, draw a card. Pretty cool in a True Folk commander deck, I suppose. Then we have a Conduit of Storms. Flips into Conduit of Emrakul. Oh, damn, Tamiyo. Not treating me well. Drink some more beer here. Alright, one more pack. Third to last. Alright, we have a Whispers of Emrakul, a Murder, Deranged Whelp, and a Stitcher's Graft. for 1, you get an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+3. Equip it for 2. But whenever equipped creature attacks, it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. And whenever it becomes unattached from a permanent, you sacrifice that permanent. Then we have a Curious Homunculus. And we have a foil Abandoned Reason. Alright. Starting the last pack. Starting off with a Fury Blade Vampire. Morn Willow. Markov Crusader. And a Distended Mindbender. So for 8, or you can merge it for 5 and 2 black, you get a 5/5 Eldrazi insect creature. But it also, when it's cast, so you can cast it and still be countered. You get to choose a non-land card with a converted mana cost 3 or less, and one with 4 or greater. And the player discards both of those cards. Pretty awesome card in my opinion. Ulalwald Captive for a flip. And we have a Foil Mountain on the swamp. Holy crap. This box is weird. Like, bad, except for Lily. Finish off the beer here. Last pack, guys. Let's see what unfolds. First uncommon is Abandoned Reason. Insatiable Gorgers. Dusk Feaster. And the rare is an Eternal Scourge. So for 3, you get a 3/3 Eldrazi Horde creature. But you get to cast it from exile, which is pretty sweet. And in combination with that, anytime it's targeted by a spell or ability, you exile it. So it's easy to remove, but it just keeps coming back. And then we have a Cryptolith Fragments. And nothing exciting in that pack either. Well, that's depressing. Except for Lily. 2 Mythics. I went from 9 to 2. That's bizarre. Probably should have distributed the Mythics a bit better in that case. But anyways, it's kind of hard to say how the theory holds up here because of how little number of Mythics there were. But I had no flip Mythics and then 2 non-flip. Both of which were in the Werewolf. So that's how it turned out. Luckily, one of those 2 was Liliana, otherwise this box would be awful, beyond belief. Still not great. I didn't get any other crazy good money rares like a Spell Queller. So, I don't know. That's fine though. That's how boxes play out sometimes. But anyways, guys, this is another beer in a box. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. I always enjoy beer while also sharing a box with you guys. So until next one, guys, I will catch you later.